Kaira English going into her junior season, in her junior season, and already 100 goals plus. Wow.
Another 4-goal performance against Springfield, too. And let's talk about this season to start off, Kaira, and talk about that game. Another big win that you guys had on this season, too. You guys seem like you're rolling into this year. What kind of confidence are you guys playing with, too? And talk about this season inside the locker room a little bit.
I mean, we've been working hard all summer. We all have a goal to win the league and go far in tournaments. A goal for all of us has always been to beat Springfield. They beat us bad by the last few years, so it was a big goal to beat Springfield. So it felt really good to beat them, but now we're just focused on next week's games. And
coming into this season, I think everyone in the girls' soccer realm kind of knew who you were, and everyone that you play was going to circle you a couple of times and make sure that they try to slow you down. What's it been like so far, knowing that you're going to be on the scouting report and going into games, knowing that your teammates have your back, other players are scoring goals, and that you can kind of go and just do your thing?
I mean, it's fine for me if they double team me, because that means there's somebody open. So it kind of just helps us as a team when they do double team.
Your love for this sport, though, I know this is 1A sport for you, too. I'm curious on when it started, too. When did you first find yourself falling in love with the sport, and what's your earliest memory playing the sport of soccer?
Well, I started when I was around 4. I always remember just loving it. I just remember playing with all my friends, and it was a lot of fun.
We've asked you this before during basketball season. I mean, you're an ultimate competitor when you step on the floor, step on the court, or on the field. There's a mindset that comes to you that says, I'm going to beat you no matter who's in front of me. Where do you think that comes from? And how do you kind of flip the switch between your normal personality and then the personality that you put on when you put on a uniform?
I'm really competitive and I like to win. So when I was younger and stuff playing against my brother, it's always been real competitive, and I think he's really helped me when it comes to and my sister too, when it comes to playing in games, just my competitiveness and wanting to win.
I got some questions too from unnamed sources. We'll leave them at that as well too. But about your competitiveness, was it anything about the elementary gym teacher that used to beat you in dodgeball? Was there something about that made you really competitive going forward?
Yeah, he's a sore loser because I don't ever remember him beating us. But yeah, that was really competitive.
There's some shade getting thrown on. I don't know who it's from, but there's something going on. Kaira, when we talk about how much success you've had in your career, it makes you a role model to the young players, and not just in the Waterloo system, but probably in the soccer community. What's that mean to you to know that there are girls looking up to you right now, especially in the sport of soccer that is growing so rapidly?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good because I used to look up to a lot of high schoolers when I was younger. So it kind of just feels good that there's people in my place looking up to me now.
I know too. There's countless times of you trying to help out a lot of foreign exchange students as well, because that's a huge program over there in Waterloo. And I mean, it speaks, I think, a huge part in your leadership too. Going into this junior season now, you're an upperclassman for these sports. You got to take that next step into being a leader too. Where do you think that comes from too, and where do you see yourself as a leader too? Do you see yourself as one of those vocal ones, or those kind of lead by example leaders?
I mean, I always like to be helpful. I try and do my best at leading. I'm, like I said, helpful. I don't like seeing people who are confused and stuff, so I like to help other people out. So I try and be the best leader I can.
Let's go back to that 100th goal and what it was like for you to have that moment and to reach that milestone, halfway through your career, really. What's it mean to you, and what kind of accomplishment was that for you, and how much did you put in work for that goal to be accomplished?
I worked a lot too. I mean, it's always been a goal to reach 100. I mean, when I scored, it just kind of felt like any other goal, but I really worked hard to get where I am. So
Now, Kaira, we would be remiss to say that there's not plenty of talks about what the big goal is too. That could be insight for you of the all-time state leader for goals in the sport too. Is that something that has crossed your mind too, or something that you've given any thought or looked into as an athlete? At this could be a real goal that I could really cement myself at the top of that leaderboard.
yeah, but I like to keep it in the back of my head. I don't want to like put it out as like, yeah, that's my main goal, because I don't want to go into a game thinking I need to score, I need to score. I like to look at other opportunities to score. Like, I can't get too caught up in I need so many goals when I need to pass the ball. I need to look for other opportunities to score, because that's, in the end of the day, that's how you win.
And we talked about it earlier. You're going into your junior season. I'm thinking that there are probably more responsibilities put on you as far as the leadership, that you're presented with, and the coaches that are going to be able to look to you and say, we don't need you to just be a statistical leader, but we need you to be an emotional leader and an energetic leader. How have you kind of handled those responsibilities, and what's it like now being an upperclassman?
I mean, it's kind of just like the other years in high school. You just listen, help other people out, and just be there for people if they need help, I guess.
Now, I know you're a great role model for those younger students too, but once you step on the field or the hardwood too, you get the nickname the bully in the Waterloo system too. And I mean, I gotta ask, do you have any fear? Because I see you making tackles on the field. I see you diving for basketballs during the basketball season, and it seems like you play with this fearless mindset. Do you have any fear when you step out on the field or the court?
No, not really.
What is that mindset like then when you go out there and you're playing with these other girls, competing with these other girls? It seems like you use that almost to your advantage, and that it's almost an intimidation factor that you show no fear and you're willing to be super physical in these contests.
Yeah, I mean, I just like to work the hardest I can. Like I said, I don't like losing, so
Who was
whatever.
big? Who was a big coach or a big influence to you younger in your soccer days too, that really got you into the sport and really showed you the ropes of being physical and having that physicality?
And one of my soccer coaches, I think I was in like 7th, 8th grade. His name was Steve Keller. He really like taught me like you have to be like physical, and just you have to be more physical than the other team. And then, I mean, a lot of my coaches have really preached that. So,
All right, so
and
you're not scared of anything in the soccer field or the basketball court, but you got to be scared of something. What are some of your childhood fears that might still be lingering on now that you're ranging into adulthood?
I mean, probably like I'm not sure like what I want to do after high school. That's probably like one of my biggest fears, I guess.
Plans too. There's nothing physical or
No,
supernatural that Kara's afraid of,
no.
man. Are you kidding me?
Bugs, snakes, no, nothing.
What's the go-to spot, or what's your go-to meal after these big wins that you get, whether it's on the basketball court or the soccer field?
I like to drink a lot of water. I love drinking chocolate milk after games. I don't know. I like to eat healthy. It really shows, like I can notice in a game if I've eaten junk food or something. So a nice like healthy meal is really important to me.
The drink of champions is chocolate milk, sponsored by Kaira English.
Strong athletes love to keep their diet in check, but I gotta imagine that you do have some guilty pleasure desserts or food that you kind of try to treat yourself every now and then. What are those foods for you?
I love chocolate. Yeah, chocolate cake probably is the main one.
Who makes the best, or is it a homemade chocolate cake?
My grandma, she makes the best.
For sure. It's always grandma's chocolate cake.
What's your favorite chocolate bar, like as far as candy goes?
Probably Milky Way.
Yes.
I mean, this is this is fun too. Talking about this, I mean, you got the chocolate milk, you got the chocolate cake, you got the chocolate bar too. But I'm also curious too. Out of the players that you've played with, and I know your experience with soccer, there's been a ton too that you played with and against. Who's the most underrated player that you've played either with or against, in your opinion, that maybe didn't get a whole lot of limelight, but can do work on the field?
There's a lot of them actually. I think on our team personally is like, I don't want to talk my sister up and stuff, but she's in the midfield, so she doesn't really get a lot of recognition on defense or offense, but she'll win like any 50-50 ball. For other teams, I mean, Kylie Kosak, but she's really well known from Springfield. I only got to play against her 2 games my freshman year, but I learned a lot from her. She was really good. So
I think your sister might owe you some chores for that shout out. I think you're going to be able to use that as leverage at home. When you look at some of the people that have really been there to support you throughout your career, who comes to mind, and who do you want to give a shout out to before we let you go for the people that support you throughout your career?
Definitely my parents. They've been there like every step of the way, driving me to practices, out of state games, and definitely they've been there since day one. So
Kaira, thank you so much for the time today. Congratulations on 100 goals. We know it's going to be 100 and continually counting, and the team success. We know that's the number one goal for you. We wish you the best of luck going forward, and we look forward to talking to you again real soon.
thank you.